Hello, everybody. My name is Sunzet, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Cutting Edge Podcast. I'm here joined with mercuryneousMiracles. How you doing today, Mercury?
I'm fine.
All right. Seems like you got a lot of positive reception on the last podcast, so we are going to go to hit with that upload about 2 days later. And so hopefully you enjoy this one just as soon as you enjoyed the last one. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the questions. So, as per usual, what is your general opinion on the state of Black Magic 2 today?
Well, I think, it's not really active, so it's just, kind of dead. I mean, there are still people who play it, but there's really no new content, so most of the time, you play with people only to be with your friends. You only play BM2 to play with your friends, and that's where most of the fun comes from, because there's not really many updates right now.
I would say that you could find ways to have more enjoyment out of it, like say just learning a different class.
Yeah, but by now, everybody has learned every class.
Not me. if you all remember. If y'all remember Weekly Highlights number 10 or 11, or remember when I tried to play Revenant in Ranked, it didn't go well. It did not go well.
That's surprising.
Yeah, because I forgot what... I mismatched SP7 with SP8 for the clip that I showed. It was pretty embarrassing.
Revenant is the go-to for playing ranked. If you want Diamond rank easily, just play Rev. If you want any rank easily, just play Revenant.
Or if you want to get the Diamond rank with class, you play with Citadel or Assailant. Yep, I'm gonna put my cool glasses on. Right then, I have nothing else to say. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is, as per usual,
Next topic.
What are some buffs or nerfs that you would give the classes if you had the choice to right now?
Well, first off, I would nerf Revenant. I would nerf its SP1 and its SP2. But I would buff its SP3. Because SP3 has so much startup and so much end lag, but not that useful.
Well, it's primarily used as a combo ender.
Yeah, but you can also end with SP6 and get faster while slowing them down.
Well, I guess the reason it exists is it's a grab. It exists as a grab, and it also creates a positional advantage. So if you want to create space.
Yeah, but it's really hard to hit off the bat like that.
And that's why it's a combo.
Is mediocre.
You can argue that's why it's the combo ender.
But there are so many other good combo enders that I would just rather have instead of SP3.
Yeah. And what would you nerf about Revenant SP1 and SP2?
I would nerf the scaling of SP1. Make that A scaling. And as for SP2, I'd make the deal a little less damage. As well as making it a little slower.
Yeah, that would make sense. I've seen a lot of people complain about the amount of hit stun that it gives. Is that an issue for you?
Hit stun is the problem. It's not a huge issue, but it's still kind of annoying.
Well, the reason why people complain about that, and I'm guilty of this too, is that when you trade a move with Revenant and against Air SP1, they're going to recover faster on certain moves because you're in hit stun for that much. So that means they're going to be able to follow up with the combo and get nearly 450 to 500 something damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's including all the combo routes Revenant has as well.
I would say only the fist, the light auto combo is the one. I'd say that's the main problem if you're talking about hit stun, because you can get a straight hit with that. and then you can just walk over to them and do the next attack.
Yeah, I suppose so too.
But you don't really have that with any other class.
Any other classes
For
that you
example,
would think would? Any other classes you think would have nerfs or buffs?
well, I would remove the vulnerability on Kurai's launcher.
Yeah, I
It
really
would
don't.
also make a
Yeah, I really don't get why it needed to have invulnerability in the first place. Because
yeah.
it already
I
comes
find it
out.
annoying.
It already comes out so fast and covers a wide range, and it still wouldn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't an issue for most classes, and Kirai isn't a class that you would challenge many moves with.
hmm The guard break is also a slight problem too, because you can do it in the air, and and by the time you get down, you're attacking them, and there's zero end lag if you do it in the air. And there's hardly any end lag even if you do it on the ground. It's very fast, and too effective. Like,
Because
what guard break can be done in the air?
yeah, that has mix-ups too. Um, Especially with some of the type of sounds like Diamond Sadness. When Diamond Sadness and Bako, they've already figured out how to stall in the air and try to battle something, and then they'll go for GB because Cure can do that. It can JC dash JC and then launcher and then JC, and it gives about 5 to 6 seconds of air still time. And for that, you can do whatever you want. You can do SP1, you can do SP3, SP2, just to try and get out. And the only move that's pretty much non-functional anywhere else is just the SP5 combo ender, which again gives slowness.
Good slowness in the SP5 is really easy to reset into guard break off of.
Yeah, and it's a starter
So you
combo.
can do.
And it's a starter combo ender. If you get clipped with X, you could just launcher JC dash JC SP1 and then go for slowness with SP5.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say Karai is as broken as it is annoying. I feel like it's more on the annoying side than the broken side. But there is still some broken aspects about it, like the iframes on launcher.
Yeah. And for me personally, I would just want the devs to bring back just a little bit of assailant's launcher invincibility, because that's what made it potent against a lot of other classes. Because against Revenant's SP1 or against a lot of Kurai's moves, you are not always in danger. You have this sort of escape that you can activate or challenge moves with. But now that that's gone, we kind of had to adapt to that and find other ways to get past things or punish things.
Yeah.
So just probably on the startup, not anywhere else. Just I really just would want a little bit of the invincibility back, and not anything else.
Yeah, I would too. Maybe iframes on startup.
Then if we have
But
nothing...
iframes on active frames seem like never mind.
Then if we're all going on that one, let's move on to the next question, which is going to be... what are some Roblox games that you have played recently that you would recommend to the audience at home?
I would recommend Midnight Horrors and Item Asylum, although they aren't like BM2 at all. They're still fun games. If you're into horror games, there's The Mimic and Realm of the Nine Portals that you can play.
Yeah, me and Bakalo actually played Realm of the Nine Horrors with J-Dog and Nisflata yesterday.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got through the first two without dying. but no one had enough time for the third one.
Breaking Point is also like a good, moderately fun game.
Yeah. Then next question. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. It's going to be. Do you have? So when you were officiating Crow's tournament, for the people who don't know, Cryo, one of the people from the BMC, decided to hold a tournament, which was a mock tournament. And do you have any funny or interesting stories from when you were setting that up with Cryo?
Not really. Besides Diamond saying, "Get out of my way," side character, and one of them got pissed.
That thing's probably from got one of my favorite tournament memories, which was when J2P put on that Goku avatar and actually won.
Yeah.
Like that one was boss. Or Jesem King doing that Citadel SP8 against Diamond. I actually still have the clip of that saved.
Yeah, that was so. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I can't even describe it.
Yeah, but didn't Cryo leave the server entirely? Now he's just going back to just going back to moderator.
I think he just made a new account for no reason.
I don't know why he left the server though. Now just M King moderates it. I'm still commentator. You're still streamer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he abandoned it. No, I'm not too sure.
I wish WD would come back and stream for us again, and especially
Yeah.
if we could actually get a Twitch channel up and running.
WD was a good streamer.
Like he still is a good streamer. He still streams. He just finished a Q&A for hitting 900 subscribers, and he's about to reach 1,000 subscribers. For those who are watching, subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to him too. Very good BM YouTuber, and he go ahead and stream regularly. Got to get him to 1,000 subscribers. Bet that's gonna make him really happy.
Yeah.
But there was some things that Diamond brought up about how, what if a well-known personality from the FGC made a video or brought to Black Magic 2?
I feel like it would get some popularity, but then it would just get hated on. Because the game is incomplete.
I wouldn't say get hated on. I'm pretty sure the devs would at least come out saying they're right now working on things, or that there were some things that got in the way, or there's some issues that they have to resolve first. But I imagine it's not going to get hated on just because it's quote unquote incomplete. If the game was truly broken, then I wouldn't host any tournaments for it.
Fair. But I would expect that.
But we were gauging who, but we were making jokes of who would find out about it first, like Justin Wong or Sonic Fox or people like that. Because Justin Wong's been finding out a lot of old Capcom titles or games that not a lot of people have heard of. But I highly doubt he's going to touch Roblox.
Yeah.
It'd be cool though.
It would. Imagine Beam 2 gets revealed instead of FGC, and there's new tech once every day. Every week there's just some game-breaking tech.
Yeah, but I imagine that it's going to bring a lot of light, so to the developing Roblox, like developers trying to find work, or because Tentagram and one other person is right now working with the dev team. So,
Yeah.
but having that popularity, I'm pretty sure a lot of new developers will want to work for work for Osamu and whatnot. Then we're all done with that. Let's move on to the next question. Pull it up. Where is it? I had a list all typed out and. Okay, there it is. Do you have any good BM2 moments or any videos or clips that you want to share with the audience?
I don't have any clips or videos.
Or has anything interesting happened between these months or weeks that you want to share? Like any stories?
Well, there was this one time in one Phantom, like the Strive Phantom map, you know, in the center, there was this giant like bowl, and I did a grounded light auto combo in the air in the bowl. It was weird. Also, there was this one time where me and Oni did a double Revenant combo that killed, like, from 100% to 0% on a Citadel. Let me get that.
Yeah, I remember you guys showing that when I went ahead and did the first 2v2 tournament.
Yeah, there it
I remember you
is.
posted a video of that. But even though you guys won, I don't remember you guys actually completing the combo.
Yeah, we never did.
But has Oni wanted to team with you again?
Yeah, we have.
I remember him asking quite a lot.
He's teaming with somebody else this tournament, but we do team a lot outside of like general tournaments and stuff. Next question.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to the next question. People seem to like it last time when Quite went ahead and told people who are do quote unquote call outs or some ridiculous stuff like that, and to people who are like annoying or stuff in the community. How about you do it this time if you're comfortable with it?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not like that I really hate Stove. It's just that I feel like sometimes he's a little too overconfident because he calls me garbage.
Sorry,
Stove,
who was it again? Who was it again? It was kind of mumbled.
Stove's deaf. That's how. Stove's he.
Ooh yeah, Stove. Hate him.
I can't pronounce it. Okay, so I feel like he's a little too overconfident for his skill level.
No, it's not like he's overconfident. It's not like he's overconfident. He is good, except he just beats me more times than I can beat him, and I'm sad.
Well, he says I'm garbage, but then he loses to me while he's teaming on me with Quite and Rosa. And I'm not sure how that's supposed to work out. Because he's always like, gee, you're so garbage, you copy my outfit. But I'm better than him.
And I have a hunch that the next person you want to bring up kind of gave us kind of a hard time in a server about 30 minutes ago.
About Deadpan?
Yep.
Well, Japan has been doing this since RBT, World Blood Tournament. So I'm not really surprised.
Do
Well, I find it kind of interesting,
I'm gonna stop you
but
right there.
like he's done this so many times.
I'm gonna stop right there.
But
Since you brought that up, do you have any stories of and do you have any deadpan stories from RBT or anything crazy that happened regarding him?
well, I remember when he was flirting with
Who?
Azov 21.
I was only there when the fourth and fifth RBT tournament was being made.
I remember when he was flirting with Marcy Mav.
Oh, I remember Marcy.
Mm. So, and he's like always been getting everybody to hate him and team on him in BM2 servers. He's been doing this since RBT. You know, a couple of people from RBT actually hated him, and that they teamed on him, and then he just beat them all. So he's doing. I don't think he's serious about it. I think he just does it to have fun or train. I think he
Well,
actually wants to provoke people.
I don't think that it helps that people like Bakalo are when Deadpan's just fighting people over and over and over that he's being called, and I quote, a dumbass. I don't think that really puts it in his best light.
Yeah.
Anyone else, or can we move on to the next question?
We can move on.
Right then, man, these are going by fast. Just be quiet. Gonna repeat the same question from last time. What do you think are some bad Roblox trends regarding games recently?
I don't like the aesthetic trend. It has to go.
Aesthetic. Describe that a little bit for us.
Okay, so you know, like the people who dress up as rope bangers, they're annoying as
You
shit.
mean like with like the horns and the fang teeth, glasses, like one leg or
Yeah,
arm missing?
stitch face.
Yeah, purchasing some like all that edgy clothing literally cost them an arm and a leg.
It's not only in other Roblox games; it's in BM2 too. So you always like occasionally find the one edgy emo who thinks he's better than you, and he calls a bunch of friends to team on you, and then they're all like mega pussy ubu and stuff like that.
I remember when last year, I think it was when I was 3 months or 4 months in the BM2, there was this teamer squad, and I'm sorry for using the word teamer, but I don't, can I just say like a hitman squad of like 4 to 5 people,
Oh,
and they were coordinated as shit. It was like they were in a VC talking with each other, and they were doing all these combos, and they all had similar names, similar outfits. I don't know. I don't know where the hell they are now. Probably moved on or something because I don't see them in any servers now.
never heard of them.
That was
Yeah,
cool and scary to
names.
see. Yeah, I have no idea what their names are now, but I remember when that was the thing that happened. Just these dedicated people just trying to reign terror over everyone.
Mm. Sometimes I do that. And it's fun.
And I remember something that happened about 2 weeks ago, which was funny. Uh, there was this guy who. Let me see if I can find some of the archives of it. Yeah, it's over here. Yeah, this user, Milk is Banned, is I don't know what his Roblox username was, but he was in the BMC for like an hour or something, just spouting on this big thing about making a clan or something. And then apparently someone coerced him into actually revealing it. We went ahead and did that, and it was the funniest shit. Okay, so the picture of it was that one SpongeBob picture where he has like the money, and he's got like the thumbs up in like a green suit. You know that one?
SpongeBob drip.
The gangster, and it was called a Revolution. It was like the corniest shit. It was like something you'd see in BM1.
It's like something you'd see in 2011.
Or a branch of Vitality. Who knows?
Vitality
I'm gonna get flack for that, aren't I?
It's 6 feet under. It's silly rotten as fuck. It's been
okay,
dead
so
it's been dead since it started.
Okay, so there was rudimentary chaos on like like 8 or 9 people who joined from the BMC. Just trolling and whatnot, and then another person got banned, and so only I think me and one other person were left, and I kind of had to use my own words a bit to not get banned. Saying, hey man, I didn't do anything to you. And he's like, oh, okay, you can go. You're good. And then...
Damn.
And then... He, I guess he got bored. After telling everyone to, like, suck his own dick and everything, he just gave me the server. He just straight up left and made me admin.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm not
the
gonna.
Art of not giving a shit.
So yeah, I guess I own the server now. I repurposed it into like a pseudo game development server when I eventually learn how to code with Lua. But I'm not gonna reveal
That's
it.
nice. Yeah,
oh my god, it was so funny at the time. You should have been there.
Any other questions?
Sorry that I kind of interrupted you when you were saying did you have any more stories?
No.
I think we can go ahead and move on.
Not any that I can tell fluently.
Yeah, we can move on to the next question then.
Yeah.
What is your favorite BM2 content to watch on YouTube right now?
Favorite is probably yours or WD's.
And what would you say that you like about him most?
Say that you have a good play style, and it's fun to watch you play, and it's fun to play against you because you have an honest play style while still trying to win while also making it fun, because it's not like you use some super meta, ultra powerful, inescapable reset.
And I don't use HAC into JAC. Okay, I cannot stress enough, people.
Sorry.
Do not use that combo conversion. I cannot stress enough. That is not what Assailant is supposed to do.
People slide. People slide off my HAC. And just have to do that because...
Yeah.
Because if I try to walk over to them, they'll just recover. So I have to jump and then JAC to actually get the combo off.
Yeah, but then people do that, and they go ahead and convert it into the huge, ultra massive 570-something damage combo. But, that's just, like, It's completely unrewarded for just getting a straight HAC hit, but then there's enough hits done that you're just able to JAC, and then you can get the full combo conversion. It's like the JAC extensions with Kurai, like, it's too much for too little.
Yeah. That's why I usually don't do that. I only do it if I have to do it, or I think it'll win me the game. Because I won't do that, because it's not fun for me or the other person.
Yeah, Back to what you were saying. What do you like about WD's content?
He has good editing skills, and I like his commentary.
What do you think about the other BMTubers like Inpranked, Jaxie, or Vengeful Extras?
Who the fuck is Vengeful Extras?
I don't even know his goddamn name. Let me. He made a new video on BM2.
I don't really watch
Yeah,
other BM tubers besides you and WD.
Yeah, well, yeah, he makes it a lot of videos on like Cataclysmic Clash, lots of the JoJo games, like Soul Shitters, like all that. And he, oh, man, I feel like he gives sort of bad press to the game, question mark, but I'm not totally sure. Like he brings in he brings in a lot of people who are either A, kind of annoying, or two, are only or like thrill seekers.
Mm.
Also, I can tell what kind of demographic, and I can also tell what kind of demographic his audience likes. All the other videos are like under like 50,000 views, but the moment he makes a JoJo video, he gets like 100,000 views, which I think is kind of funny.
It's disappointed and disappointing.
I wouldn't say it's disappointing. I'd love to have about 4,000 views every video.
Yeah, about 4,000 views off of a JoJo game. I wouldn't feel like that was deserved. We can move on to
but his content is entertaining, even though it's those type of videos where it's just flooded with memes and you can't actually enjoy the gameplay. And partly because he doesn't play
that.
Like, if I'm going to watch a BM2 video, I want to make sure that guy that's actually watching knows what the hell he's doing, and doesn't try to have a bunch of meme filler in between like 2 or 5 fights.
Yeah, that's really annoying.
Or I want to watch someone who has a charismatic personality like Impranked, who I can watch and relate to and laugh at the jokes.
Yeah.
Like I at least want to see that in a BM2er.
It's like ads in the middle of the fight, except those ads are your own horrible, shitty memes.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Anything else?
Well, I guess I'm out of questions. These went by fast again. That's funny. So, do you have any questions for me?
Well, not really. But on the topic of Beam 2 classes and their rating, I feel like every Beam 2 class is close to each other in rank. I feel like there would be only one tier, and there would just be low of that tier or high of that tier, because all of the classes are so close, and like the worst class, somebody with actual skill with the worst class can easily be somebody that's playing the best class. So,
well, the tier list,
choosing the worst class is insanely hard, because I feel like Assailant would be the worst class, but its passive is very useful, and it has a nice anti-air in the form of its launcher. Plus, its JC is good combo filler,
and it can gain health off of a combo.
Pressure. Yeah, it gains like 15% off of one hit if you get a combo.
I'd say the tier list Tier list for any fighting game. I wouldn't say that it's based off the best players in the world as it is the general consensus of the player base. Because an average assailant gets an average virtue. You would look for the positives and the negatives in that match, not someone, not two people who know the matchup and like you know what they can do and what they can manage. But against that average scenario of this person picks virtue and this person picks assailant, you have to look at that because in a normal circumstance, assailant's going to have a harder time getting into virtue because of dash speed and walk speed and the amount of sprint they have, the fact that virtue can teleport, has all these projectiles. Well, assailant itself, while it does have a dedicated answer, which is mod SP5, sometimes that's not going to work, or sometimes virtue is going to go in with the fire pillar, or is going to go ahead into the SP3 wind punch. And it gets to a point where tier lists are based on that. So from that standpoint, the fact that virtue can actively avoid assailant for an extremely long time, while also having the skills to combat it with super armor and teleportation and whatnot, and SP1 cooldowns, the fact that that exists alone makes virtue a tier higher than assailant. So yes,
Yeah, not to mention like the insane damage that virtue can do, plus the true damage that fire attacks have.
So yes, in that regard, I would argue that the tier list would exist for that reason. And
that's fair.
And another matchup, which also, like, when you look at assailant in something like, say, Citadel, a lot of people argue that those two are the same tier, partially based on, their movement and what kind of damage they can output. But the main difference is that Citadel can increase damage through setups, which some people argue puts it lower than Assailant, because with Assailant you can just do the combo and you can get the flat amount of damage that you want. That's because that's one of the strengths of the Assailant. You don't need to do a lot of fancy combo conversions in order to get the big damage that you want. But for Citadel, you need crystals, you need breakdown, you need to make sure that you start with the right scaling and whatnot. And the fact is that it doesn't have a heavy starter apart from the shield flash that only blinds opponents, and if they're too far away, you can't really follow up with anything. Well, apart from if they're low health.
It takes an eternity to start up.
And only then, like only a few months ago or was it probably, I think it was the start of the year? What date was it when they finally gave Citadel the execution?
I think it was like somewhere in between March or February.
Because I feel like adding the execution on a projectile, no less, definitely made Citadel more of a class to pick up or learn than it did before that. And I'd argue that now it's in the same league as Assailant, because even though there's a lot of work you need to do, and even though it can zone and put people into setups, and that still requires you to either get lucky, know what you're doing, or to make sure you even have the heat to do things. And again, the fact that it can store more heat than any other class and has bigger blocks than any other class, Assailant also has the tools to get rid of it, like SP6 or GB. Super armor. Both classes have super armor. Both classes are able to move around pretty quickly. Both their SB2s have a lot of range. You also
have to take into consideration that Citadel has like two passives. I'm retarded. Passives.
Take your time.
Citadel has two passives, like its block, when you attack the block, it gets heat, which is an easy way to get heat, so it can put out the necessary damage in order to win. Plus, when you hit the crystal, it's like your end lag just disappears.
Yeah. And then there's a point of, if you have Assailant and Citadel in the same range, where does that put something like Kurai? Now, Kurai is infamous for doing moves with little to no risk. For both Assailant and Citadel, Kurai can do HAC, Launcher, GAC, LAC, and even though Citadel has a few more options, it has a bigger launcher with super armor. I mean, that's all it has compared to Assailant, but Assailant in return can counter. And Citadel also has the shield, but Citadel's shield can be broken by Kurai GB. And Kurai GB, for those of you who didn't know at home, can ignore level 1 super armor. It can ignore level 1 super armor. So even though Citadel would have a better matchup against Kurai, the fact that Kurai exists, it means that you're already at a disadvantage. And so when people say that, this is not a jab at you, but when people say to me that tier lists just don't exist in Black Magic 2, or the tiers don't matter in any sort of fighting game, I just think it's a bit silly.
The reason that I say that tiers don't really matter is because with any class, you can easily just fuck somebody in the ass, like cream pie somebody with the best class, if you're actually skilled and put the time into that class, because you can learn the matchup, and even though the best class may have like a lot of tools, you can you can use your tools creatively to beat them. And plus, if the class is lower on the tier list, less people will bother to learn the matchup, so you also have a minor element of surprise. Though that doesn't really convert to BM2 because the roster is so small. So basically everybody knows the matchups for every class.
Okay, one, you should have chose a better choice of words for the start, including F and C word. And secondly, yes, I agree with you. We have kids watching, Merc.
Just being honest.
Being honest and being honest with your vocabulary are a bit two different things. Right. If you don't have any more questions, then I guess we can go ahead and do a bit of a sign off.
Yeah, we can sign off.
And for those of you who are watching, for the end of this video, if you have any questions that you want our guests or me to answer, remember to comment those below, and make sure you add your Roblox username, so we can go ahead and shout you out. But yeah, that was episode 5 of the Cutting Edge Podcast, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode. See ya.